My name is Gregory Rice, and I am a property manager in Pawtucket, as well as a small landlord with properties in Woonsocket, West Warwick, East Providence, and Warwick. I'm here to elaborate on my opposition to 3 points on this bill. The components proposed are well-intended and aim at the ultimate goals of providing tenants stability, security, and due process. However, in this format, the state would be usurping the rights I possess as a private property owner. As a private property owner, it is my responsibility to keep the building in good repair, abide by local building and zoning codes, and ensure the stipulations of the Rhode Island Landlord-Tenant Handbook are followed. On the flip side, the tenant also has the obligation to abide by the terms of the Landlord-Tenant Handbook and the lease agreement they voluntarily sign. As a landlord, I'm providing space and time to each tenant on a revolving period. Typically, it's month to month. The tenant does not achieve any form of ownership of the property and is free to leave at any time by providing written notice. I, as the property owner, however, am not free to leave at any time and are shouldered with expenses, liability, and accountability. Therefore, I should be entitled to terminate a tenancy without the burden of just cause. Perhaps the tenant is a nuisance, perhaps has a poor payment history, or perhaps I just want to renovate the entire apartment to improve the property. Whatever the reason is, I need to be entitled to manage the property the way that is necessary. It would be extremely inefficient, costly, and a deterrent to investment property ownership should us as landlords need to succumb to micromanage it from a third party who is not involved with the day-to-day operations, risk, or expenses. For tenants in arrears, the current process is to send a 5-day demand after the 16th day. If the tenant does not pay in this time frame, I have the ability to file the complaint in district court. Normally, I would meet the tenant in court within 2 to 3 weeks. Now, with COVID, it's more like 2 to 3 months. Offering the tenant 60 days to cure their payment will only shoulder my increased costs and expenses onto the next tenant. In many cases, when a tenant expresses their inability to pay, I will let them go and give up to 1 month to vacate, and once they do vacate, I apply their deposit to the back due rent. This prevents us from going to court and keeps the tenant's credit history protected. And finally, on lease violation notices, currently those notices provide the tenants 20 days to cure their behavior that is in violation of the rental agreement. In my opinion, 20 days is far too much as it is, and 60 days is only going to negatively impact the other tenants, the community, and the overall authority the tenants possess. Such common violations I deal with are smoking, loud music, drug use, prostitution, and beyond. The tenant shouldn't be given 2 months to rectify these behaviors. They should be given 2 seconds. Thank you.